So the D'Amelio reality show came out yesterday, and let me start this off by saying that this video isn't all bad. There are some good things in here, so you can't just say I'm here shitting on them because that's just not the case. Now, I wasn't really going to do a video on this show because not only did I watch all 8 episodes of this show in one sitting, but I also saw Shang-Chi yesterday, but you guys really don't fuck with my Marvel videos like you do with my other ones, so I'm just going to make this one for now and see how it goes. Now, the D'Amelio show is a reality TV show, so it's not really going to get a breakdown like Outer Banks or the Addison Rae movie, but I am going to rate it and talk about it because why not? Now this first section is really directed at Dixie, but can be applied to both Charlie and Dixie. It's basically about criticism. Now they're at a point in their careers with the amount of shit that they get, everything that isn't a good comment or praise for whatever they're doing will be seen as hate or the internet just trying to cancel them. Like for example, let's say Dixie were to be involved in a project that was genuinely bad and genuinely just not good, and it was terrible. I don't think the people around the D'Amelios would be able to tell them that it's not good, or they would take it as hate or them just trying to be mean. This part is directed at Dixie because she has been a part of projects that are genuinely bad, like Attaway General. And honestly, I think Dixie's first 2 songs, Be Happy and One Whole Day, are genuinely bad songs. But everything since then isn't really half bad. Now, I want to say, like, if these girls were to do some type of project that is bad, it's not everybody hating on them just because they're TikTokers. It's genuinely like not good, and everyone was shitting on them. They would take it as hate, but it's actually, you should look at it as criticism, because yeah, obviously you're gonna get hate in some form or whatever, but it has to be warranted if you're getting that much of it. There's no way millions and millions and millions of people hate you just because you exist. That's just not the case, and not how life works whatsoever. And speaking of Dixie's songs and whatnot, there was a song that was teased throughout the whole show called, I think I'm just going to title it Real Thing because I don't know, it's unreleased, so I don't really know what it's called. And it actually sounds pretty good, so I guess we're just going to have to wait until she drops it. Now, this part is obviously directed at Charlie, but as I said, can be applied to both of them. There's no way, oh yeah. So Charlie's whole thing going throughout this show is that whenever she's about to do a project or something, she always thinks about how the internet will roast her or how they'll view it. It'll be like, no, I don't want to do something because everybody's going to roast me or whatever. But, like, if you think about it, like, basically her whole thing is that she looks at the comments, everybody's just roasting her and feeling bad and all that. There is no way that you're genuinely trying to avoid this with all your power. Every single episode, they talk about how mean their comments is or how mean the internet is just being in general. But if you don't follow these people and you don't check your comments and you don't check your mentioned tweets, then it would literally all stop. Like, it's literally insanity doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. If every time you look at your comments, it makes you sad or it makes you mad or it makes you want to cry, why do you keep looking at the comments or the mentions or the tweets? It just doesn't make sense to me. I don't think this is staged. But I also don't think they're doing everything in their power to stop. You know, don't get me wrong, this type of stuff can definitely be demotivating and be stressful, but I don't think it should break you down the way it does for Charlie and Dixie. I mean, just literally just don't read the comments. If you know it's that bad, when you're going to check the comments, just don't check it. Just post your picture on Instagram, post your TikTok, and fuck off. Or the most bizarre thing about the show for me is that they're both always checking their comments. Like, there was one scene where it was Dixie and Charlie hanging out with, like, Maddie and Quinn and that other girl. And in the morning, the first thing Dixie did was look at the comments. Like, you literally go to therapy and you do all this shit to try to, like, you know, build yourself back up from the comments tearing you down. And that's all you do is look at the comments. Like, it's genuinely not that hard. Like, the whole thing is about, like, these people and how the internet takes what they do. And if every time you look at the comments, you get pissed off, why do you keep looking at the comments? It's like you want to be mad or you want to be sad. Now, obviously, you can go down the route and turn off your comments completely and just not, and there would be no way to comment on anything yourself. But obviously, nobody wants to do that. Now, if you don't want to turn off your comments, just don't look at them. Don't look at them at all. It's so ridiculous to me how many times it's brought up with, like, everybody's roasting me and it's just something not good. Like, these, at the end of the day, these are internet people and they're going to get hate no matter what just because they're internet people. This happens to everyone. This is not strictly a D'Amelio problem. It's not strictly a TikTok problem. Everybody gets it. Now, obviously, the D'Amelios work an unholy amount for how old they are and most definitely are super stressed all the time. And I get the stress part. But I think the way they feel about how the people view them is 100% completely avoidable. Personally, I just think this whole scenario is super fucking ridiculous because these girls are super attractive, super famous. They drive expensive cars. They live in crazy houses. They have famous friends. They have very successful businesses. Everyone around them is rich and famous, and them themselves are really, really, really fucking rich. They get millions of likes on their TikToks, millions of views on their TikToks, millions of likes on their Instagram posts, and their YouTube videos, and millions of views on those, and they get sad and mad over a few comments with a couple thousand likes. Like, comparatively speaking, it is bizarre that you actually care about what this is. Like, Charlie will have a TikTok. All of her TikToks get like 1 million, 2 million likes each. And she'll have a TikTok with 1 million likes, and she'll have a comment with 300 likes that's like, oh my god, like, kill yourself or something like that. But like, bro, you have 1 million other people liking your TikTok, and you're getting mad over the comment with 300 likes. That just does not make sense to me. And obviously, you know, it would be one thing if it was just like, if they're getting so much of it, but if this whole scenario, as I said, is 100% avoidable. And also, it's not like every possible, like, every hate comment and everyone can just be completely, like, you're obviously gonna see some of it. Maybe they're not even tagging you, they're just posting, like, the I don't do my makeup every day, that whole TikTok thing. Like, obviously that's gonna be hard to avoid if you're just seeing it on your timeline. Not every inch of this is avoidable, but I think 95% of the shit that they get is avoidable. That's just me, though. Like, if this wasn't something you could dodge or hide or just not look at, then I wouldn't be saying this. Or you can't really avoid it, but you can avoid looking at it and avoid getting in your feels about it. Like, this is completely avoidable, but they go out of their way to look at these comments. Like, there have been so many scenes in the show, in, like, each episode, where they're literally just, there's just a bit, and they're just sitting there reading comments. Like, why the fuck would you do that? If all of your problems stem from your comments, why do you keep looking at them? It is so bizarre to me how this hasn't been fixed already. Like, there is an easy fix for at least, like, half of their problems when it comes to the internet, like, perceiving them as people. And they just don't, it seems like they just don't want to fix it. I don't think this is staged, but obviously, as I said, they're not doing everything in their power to avoid this or just get rid of it. So it's hard to feel bad for them when they're not doing everything they could. It's like they're not really giving it all the effort to not look at the comments or not feel bad about this stuff. And then they, like, it's just, I don't know, it's ridiculous. Now, I know this is a reality show, and the rating is going to be a little weird and difficult on it just because it's a reality show. But honestly, I'm going to give this a 6.5 out of 10. I know I was ranting a lot in this video, but honestly, it's a super interesting watch. And if you're really looking for something to watch, I would 100 million gazillion % recommend this instead of the Addison Rae movie any day of the year. This is definitely a much better way to spend your time. It's definitely a lot more interesting. Even if you don't give a fuck about the D'Amelios, I still think it's an interesting watch just to, like, view the behind the scenes of, like, the top dogs of TikTok and the top dogs of internet at the moment. I think it's an interesting watch just for that reason alone. So even if you don't care about these two girls, I still think you should watch. If you're genuinely bored, go watch it. I mean, it's interesting and, you know, something for your time. Yeah, that was me ranting. I went off on a little tangent, but I mean, I don't know. I just think the whole situation is bizarre. Now, don't get it. As I said, this is not hate. This is criticism. This is just me trying to find solutions to their problems. I'm not shitting on them. I didn't do any personal attack. But, yeah, that's that. Follow me on Twitter, later.